Bitcoin dumps turning the longers into chumps. This is Around the Blockchain. Thank you for joining, everybody. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. We got 3 phenomenal guests, including 3 awesome backgrounds, too. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. Coming from the metaverse, it looks like it is Cassius getting ready for a new song dropping soon. Is that right?
Yes, I am. Actually, so this is Decentraland behind me, but my man Spotty Wi-Fi is dropping a music video tomorrow. I'm in it, but I also filmed the behind the scenes for it. So make sure you look out for Spotty Wi-Fi's new project, Do You Get It?
Sometimes behind the scenes is better than the actual videos, folks. You might see some cool stuff. Also on today, we have Mind Your Biz. Corey Costa's colors today, but I don't think it's related to that coin. Mind Your Biz, how are you doing today?
I am doing all right. And what you see behind me, no, these are not the colors of the popo. You need to correct your monitor, right? Check yourself before you ready to wreck yourself. That's all I got to say.
All right. And too bad we don't have Ice Cube in the 4th spot, but that's okay because in the 3rd spot, we have a phenomenal guest, and that is T Shroom holding it down with some new art in the back. And did I see a failed oil giant behind you?
Oh, yes, you did. DZ, that would be Enron. So if you know that it's a great investment. One of the top 100x projects that I'm picking for 2024 is Enron. So yeah, definitely a fun one to look out for. I'm excited to talk more about it, DZ.
I was a Astros fan and went to Enron Field numerous times. All right. But, then how it fell. But you know what also fell, everybody? Bitcoin looked like it fell as well. I'm going to pull up the Bitcoin price. Give me 1 second. Not yet. Don't do it. I thought I had to pull it up. Looking at the wrong thing there. All right, pulling up CoinGecko, pulling up Bitcoin. You can see a nice dump happen mostly in the middle of the day, and then just kind of putting in lower lows. Maybe we found a bottom. We started the day above $30,000. Now we're coming in $29,143. Well, there's a couple things on the horizon. We do have some ECB, the European Central Bank, is going to be meeting soon. Also, the Fed is meeting soon, the Fed Reserve. And it looks like analysts for the Fed Reserve at least predicting about 25 to 50 basis points rate hike there. Most likely 25, putting us in at 5.25 to 5.5. And then the ECB also projected to raise their interest rates by 25 basis points. Look like they're going to be coming in at 4.20 or 4.25 there. But according to CryptoQuant, not all is lost, folks. According to CryptoQuant, Bitcoin has decreased across all exchanges. Almost 100,000 coins have been pulled off exchanges in the past 30 days. Now, is this, finding their way into VC wallets or just people like you and me, storing their Bitcoin for the long term? We don't know yet. And miners also, they're increasing their reserves. Not as much, but they've increased their reserves by about 2K during the same period. So we're seeing some little bullish news, but also some potential bearish price action here. Now, Mind Your Biz, stocks, I haven't checked lately, but as of this morning, stocks were doing well. Tech stocks were doing well. I remember tech stocks and Bitcoin were highly correlated. And then, over the past 6 months, kind of been breaking that correlation. I want to ask you about another correlation connected to miners, and that is the 4-year cycle. Do you think Bitcoin's correlation with the 4-year cycle, I think we all agree it's getting weaker, but will it still be noticeable as we approach the halving? I think we're only 8 months away.
It's a great question, DZ. First off, thanks for having me back on the channel. It really is legitimately always a pleasure. This is the highlight of my schedule. It's just so much other stuff that is not as much fun as being here with the fellas and learning from people like Cassius and like T Shroom and yourself. So the correlation is this, are we going to see more correlation to the 4-year halving cycle? I think we're going to continue to see it kind of hold a bit of correlation this time around to an extent. But I think that we discovered, and I'm going to murder the attribution here, DZ. So if all y'all are like, whatever, investing historians, somebody hold me to account here. But all models are broken, but some are useful, right? I think that's the quote. All models are broken, but some are useful. I think the 4-year halving cycle, that as a model, and even stock to flow to a lesser extent, totally broken. Especially this last cycle, we're seeing that the correlations have not been standing up the way that they did the previous 2 cycles, but they are somewhat useful and they do kind of help us. Other people would use the adage, right? History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And I think what we're going to see is a rhyme of the 4-year cycle this time around. And it's going to look a little bit something like, yes, hash rate growing, on-chain metrics giving us some indication of sort of global participation and interest in Bitcoin as an asset, but they can't tell us what's on order books. They never can, they never could, and they never will. what's on private order books. And unfortunately, this time around, the thing that has changed that I think is going to potentially spell doom for some investors, and for that correlation that you were asking about, is the involvement of groups like BlackRock. I love that T Shroom has Enron in the background of his studio right now, because I think we have yet to see the major meltdown of a group that size. And I know that sounds crazy after we've already seen Three Arrows Capital and Celsius and FTX and all of the meltdown of UST and Luna. How could it get any worse? I mean, what I'm going to say is stop asking that question, because it will get worse. But maybe what you should be doing is focusing on how can I be sovereign with my cryptocurrencies and worry a lot less about whether or not there's a perfect fractal of a perfect indicator. Because I'm just going to say, I don't think we have one. I think all models totally shattered.
Good way of putting it there. The perfect fractal. I need that perfect indicator. I need that perfect confluence. I need that perfect thing that I had the successful trade last time 2 years ago. It surely is going to work again. Guys, maybe that is, it's hard to time those things, folks. All right. Well, speaking of timing, T Shroom, we're in this sideways channel for over a month. It's tightening the Bollinger Band there. I pulled up the 30-day chart. You can see it just ranging. And then we fell below the range right there just in the past 24 hours. Well, people said if we fall below this range, it's going to get ugly. If we go above the range, it's going to get spicy. Well, it looks like we fell below. Now, should I go ahead and start preparing for some 25K Bitcoin?
Oh, man. Well, DZ, that is the question. And I'd say, you can never get a perfect fractal or a perfect indicator on the charts, but Chart Prime comes pretty darn close when it comes to indicators. But when it comes down to 25, when I'm looking at the indicators, I'm looking at RSI, I'm looking at MACD, and so far, when Tim and I from the Investing Bros, you guys know him, you love him here at ATB, Tim Warren, TA Tim, the guy with the beard, probably recognize him. Whenever we're looking at charts, 25 is absolutely in the cards. But when I look at Bitcoin specifically on a multi-month chart, I just see so much support at right around 27,000. Specifically right now, if it was to come all the way back down, I would see it come down to 26.9, right? But I think that we're going to have it'll be a slower decline for Bitcoin back down to that uptrending line of support. So probably somewhere a little north of 27,000 is, I think, where we bottom for this cycle. Now, Tim makes a good point on the show, Investing Bros in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, that you can actually see a case for $25,000 Bitcoin in the future. But that's going to have to come with some fundamentals. And like Mind Your Biz mentioned, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of shoes that have yet to fall. So in the crypto space and in the financial world specifically. But I will say that the more we go forward, we see stocks go higher, and sentiment for risk assets does not seem to be waning all that much. I must say that what we're looking for really is for the NASDAQ to hit back its all-time highs, and for names like Google and Amazon and Tesla, which have not returned to those highs that were there from the beginning of the rate hikes that the Fed instituted in the United States. Once we see those stocks return to those all-time highs, I think we'll see bullishness all through that period. But until then, I think we see a lot of bullishness in all risk asset classes. But once we get there, that's when the question mark comes. And if there's not any buyers at that point, at that tippy top of the stock market, and who knows what's going on in the crypto markets at that point, but more than likely it gets a lot of carryover from risk asset appetites. Who knows what happens at that point, right? And that's where it starts to get a little teeter-tottery. And that's when I think there could be the release of a big fundamental kind of event that maybe brings us down, back down to our knees, so to speak. But I'll be sitting there. I'll be sitting there, hands wide open, and catching everybody's liquidity who is.
Okay, now this is PG rated, T Shroom. You got to be careful talking about catching people's liquidity on your knees. All right, well, you're talking about a bullish scenario. There is something bullish that's happening in the charts. Could we go to CoinGecko one more time? And Cassius, I know this is a little departure from Bitcoin, but you see Bitcoin, it's relatively, the biggest red day we've seen in over a month. Red. Everything's red. Oh, wait a minute. There's a little bright spot. That little bright spot is called Dogecoin. Cassius, in the sea of red, how's Dogecoin holding on to a life preserver? Like Kate Winslet, not Leo. It's holding on like Kate.
Well,
Nice.
I kind of think, to be honest, I think it's kind of a daily story. You know, I think it has to do with Twitter and Elon Musk and the news about them changing it to X. I think that just in general, when something happens to Elon Musk, especially Twitter, because in the past he's kind of put out there that what if Dogecoin became the coin of Twitter. I kind of just think it's one of those things. It kind of makes it so that Dogecoin seems to have a good day when maybe other stuff would have a bad day. Because other than that, I can't stress it enough. Dogecoin's tokenomics and like fundamentals, they just aren't there. It really is a meme coin of meme coins. You know, it was the first real one that was made as a joke. So there's whenever Dogecoin pumps, it's usually always because of something like that. As a trader, that kind of gives you an opportunity, though. You know, if you're looking for assets to trade, like a contrarian trade, right? Maybe it's something that isn't following the general market. Maybe that's a good opportunity for you because it's something that is not like going to just follow what everything else is doing today. You know, you watch the lead indicator of Elon Musk, I suppose. I'm not an advocate for trading like that, but I do know there's some people who do that. And, you know, really ultimately everything moves off sentiment for God knows whatever reason. So yeah, you could look into that.
I think you bring up a good point. You know, people, you know, kind of letting go of one story, latching on to another. Well, there's another meme coin, and it's actually one of the top losers of today. If we pull it up, it looks like Pepe, the number two biggest loss for all the coins in the top 100, only Compound coming in worse. Pepe lost almost 12%. So maybe selling Pepe for some Doge, you know, off the back of this news there. All right, well, speaking of Twitter, there's a great little segue here. Twitter has rebranded everybody to x.com. I guess that's probably a safe domain name. I wouldn't have said that a month ago, but they've officially rebranded, and it's even the bird logo is gone. Looks like we have a super chat. Hey, +1 T Shroom and the Investing Bros from Crypto Seth. Thank you, Seth. There. But in a recent Twitter Spaces, Musk did say we're cutting the Twitter logo off the building with blow torches. This is real. This is physical. This is literal. He tweeted just yesterday that changing the logo to X was to embody the imperfections in all of us that makes us unique. We're all individual snowflakes, people. You didn't know that? Now, there is a new CEO, Linda Yaccarino. She tweeted, X is the future state of unlimited interactivity centered in audio, video, messaging, payments, banking, creating a global marketplace for ideas, goods, services, and opportunities. Going global here. Well, obviously, trying to become what some would say is the English version of WeChat. WeChat is a super app that is in the East. Now, Mind Your Biz, I want to ask you, maybe not so much to describe WeChat or anything like that. I want to ask you about an all-encompassing super app. What are your general feelings on an app that is your social media, is your messaging, is your light bill, is your medical bills, is your college tuition loan, is everything and everything all in one, and also holds a savings account, also your crypto. In the East, people are huge fans of WeChat. They say it makes everything simple. Grandma just knows how to do everything. It's all in one app. What is the bad case for this? What are some concerns you may be having with the all-encompassing app?
Well, DZ, I appreciate you asking. And as you know, this is a sort of scenario that I like to lay out for my audience, and I have for the better part of 5 years. No, I don't publish every single day, but here's the thing. How many times do you need to be warned before you understand that there's danger afoot? When you centralize too many services, the primary question that I want all of the Bit Squad and all of the around the blockchain community to ask right now is, what could go wrong? That's going to be your guiding light in situations like this. And some might say that's a little bit of a paranoid mindset to have. As you know, DZ, and as you've heard me say many times, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. There's plenty of danger in this world. Real evil does exist in this world, and real evil does exist in the highest chambers of government and administration of businesses and especially industry. Right there's definitely plans and designs that people who have an unbelievable pay grade, just living a life that you or I could not possibly fathom, who are interested in the details of our lives, literally every detail of our life. I'm not sure if Elon Musk intends to be that person that actively and willingly sells us all out to the highest bidder. But when we centralize too many services into one little thing, I mean, it's the proverbial too many eggs in one basket. When we centralize too many services into one little access point, then unfortunately, whether Elon Musk intends to sell us out to the highest bidder or not, it becomes a honeypot, to use another term. It doesn't matter if somebody pays for all of that information, if a third party, malicious or otherwise, just hacks their way in. And this has happened. There's currently about a 5 to 6 terabyte volume of massive doxing data that exists. Let me just give your audience the alpha. This is what the dark web community knows that you don't. And that is that for a small price, they can buy anything about you, your loved ones, and all of your known associates. And it lives in a roughly 5 or 6 terabyte massive zipped file that has correlated every leak from Facebook to Equifax to Sony to Visa to every other high profile leak that's ever happened, and has been cross indexed and correlated, and now lives on the black market on the dark web for sale to the highest bidder. Now it's gone down in price, and it's kind of considered open source intelligence at this point because it's already out in the wind, to use another, whatever movie phrase. The point is, this data set exists, and it involves you, and people who want to get access to your data live for platforms like what X.com proposes to be. WeChat made it easy. Is X.com really going to make it hard for them? I don't buy it. I just don't believe that, DZ. I think this is absolutely a high-profile accident waiting to happen. Whether or not Elon Musk intends for it to be the case, it's going to happen. It has happened so many times before. And while Twitter proper has not suffered those kinds of massive leaks anytime recently, there's a first time for everything. And I cannot use stronger language to urge the audience viewing this media right now. If you're staring at me in the eyes, just listen to Uncle Seth for 2 seconds. I'm just warning you. Niece, nephew, brother, cousin, don't buy into this. Don't give all of your details and all of your personally identifying information to one owner. Whether they want to or not, they can become an unwise custodian of it. It can go to the wind, and then it's in the hands of people who are not so nice. And they can do things with your data and to you that you won't enjoy. So I don't like it.
All righty. All right. Whoa. I was almost about to scan my iris until you gave me that speech there. All right. I might hold off now. All right. Well, Cassius, a lot of people are talking about the brand recognition that Elon is just leaving on the table. What do you think about abandoning the Twitter brand all for X? It's amalgamous, weird, slightly could be pornographic, branding. Who knows what X means? Everyone knows the blue bird. What do you think about abandoning that entire brand? Is that smart or not?
Ooh, well, first of all, I just want to say I do agree with everything Mind Your Biz just said. So I'm not going to echo all of that, but I do like to say be vigilant. The branding for X is a little bit, I won't say weird, but I don't see it as a person does marketing and branding. I don't necessarily see it as a better thing. A lot of companies, i.e., Meta, tried to rebrand Facebook, one of the most recognizable brands in the world, and turn it into Meta. Didn't exactly work out for them. Perhaps it's because of, the time and market timing for metaverses not being so bullish anymore. But still, I don't necessarily think it was necessary, except for the fact that I understand what he's trying to do, which is to have everything all in one app. Again, I don't agree with doing that. And I don't trust Elon Musk and Twitter to be the ones to have all of our information and data. And I just, what Mind Your Biz didn't touch on is what WeChat really is. It started just like Twitter, more or less like a communication, but now there's gaming on there, there's banking on there, there's all forms of communication and transactions that occur, like in China, for example. And I don't think it's a coincidence that it happened in a utilitarian state like China, where they want to control everything, right? So the good news to that, and I won't just be just sound the alarm fully, is that I don't actually think something like that will catch on in the United States, at least. Not quite, not on the level of China. I don't think so.
All right. I'm glad you ended with a little good news there. Yeah. If I was to say two things that made me feel, I don't want to say optimistic, but less pessimistic, there is the Twitter files, just showing what he did, putting his thumb in the eye of the intelligence agencies. And then I've heard, I don't know if this is true or not, SpaceX has attracted some of the world's best engineers. Maybe they can roll that, as well as the Tesla AI division. Maybe they can roll that into a cybersecurity, maybe attract some of the world's best. Maybe not. I don't know. Seth, he's probably turning down that job offer. You know what I'm saying? But all right, final question on this topic. Now, T Shroom, you remember a huge top 10 altcoin that just had a major pump. Do you kind of know where I'm going with this one?
I believe I do, DZ.
XRP. Now, after they got the favorable ruling on was whether or not they're selling to individual investors as a security or not, They had a 95% pump at one point. It went to about 42 cents to 82 cents. So let's just round up, say XRP after the favorable ruling pumped 100%. Sure, only a second, only one minute candle, but for a while there, 100% pump. Elon rolls out Doge payment processing for X.com. What does that daily gain look like if you had to put a number on it?
I think it would be close. I think it may even be higher, just because I feel like more people in the investing community kind of associate Doge with Elon and Twitter, and it's just a little bit bigger of a tent post, so to speak. It's a little bit of a bigger circus that people know about. The branding has been stronger. When it comes to XRP, it's something that you and I in this community knows really, really well, and we get super excited about the XRP army and everything like that. But does that really expand out into the wider ranges of investment classes out there, and into your nephew and your nieces and your aunt and your employees and their understanding of crypto? So it's kind of like, is Doge or the XRP name recognition stronger? And when a coin starts to skyrocket because of some fundamental news, what is going to be more? What are you going to be more inclined to buy? It's kind of like with politics and name recognition. You're just going to vote for the guy you've heard the name of before. So at the end of the day, I'd have to say Doge is probably going to do more than 100% if Elon came out and unequivocally kind of made it clear, hey, Doge is going to be the currency, guys, for X. It's going to be. I think that there are some issues with the tokenomics for Doge, so it kind of makes me question if that really would be the case, if you would go with Doge, or if it would play like a more of a minor role to something like an XLM or like an AVAX or Cardano, something that's a little more equipped for that kind of scale, and that has a lot more developers on board and ready to go and ready to roll out something big, that's supposed to have 50% of the world's financial system on top of it. So that's kind of my take on that. But any headline with Doge associated with Twitter and Elon Musk and I guess X.com,
all right,
I think would send it higher.
You're in Vegas. Sure. You have to say a number. You said it could be lower, could be higher. You have to say a number. What's that number? XRP was 95%.
Well, look, Crypto Seth gave a super chat, and he's got to be on the show at some point. So I'll give a number. I'd say probably 142.
Ooh, okay, all right. So we're currently 7 cents. I put it right around 17 cents. Yeah, Crypto Seth. Meta worked well for my pockets. Pumped my crypto. Good job there, Seth. We always like when the Chainiacs gets a win there. All right, I'm gonna do a quick around the blockchain. I'm gonna ask everybody just one question. Just keep it real short to one number here. Every Twitter blue, we're giving a Doge airdrop. Elon, he just made it rain from his God Doge wallet, okay? We all got an airdrop. What number is Elon dropping into your Twitter account? How many Doge did we each get? Cassius, what number would you throw out? Is it 1? Is it 1,000? All right, mind your biz. What does Elon airdrop every Twitter blue member?
69.
That's what I was going to say. You stole it. T Shroom, what's the number?
Oh, man. Well, I said for the last one, I said 420, which 420%. So I already did the 420s.
Stole my plan B.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 4,200, and I know that's a lot dollar wise, but Elon's gonna be living big. He's gonna be really spending some money on that one.
All right, divided by 14, that's roughly,
a lot of Doge out there to give around also. So,
Yeah, there are some large wallets if you look into it. Robinhood has the world's largest, and I think Binance has the second, but there's a couple mystery wallets that are fairly sizable there, folks. They stole my 69. I guess he kind of stole 420. I would say 420.69 there, I guess, to technically be different.
Hey.
But yeah, if he gave everyone 100 Doge, we would all get... what was that come out to? $7.30, something like that. All right. Well, let's move on and talk about Worldcoin Rollout. All you have to do is scan your eye, everybody. It's that easy. All right. Raise your hands. Hit the like button if you have scanned your iris today or in the past few years, because this has been out for a while. But today, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. Have you thought about that one, folks? Have you thought about that, Owen? The man who's created potentially the world's most powerful AI, his name is Sam Altman. Think about it. Think about it. All right. Well, Sam Altman, he released WorldCoin today with a new tool promising to be able to distinguish humans from AI. Sounds like something an alt man would say. The image, it's a device that's going to use a wide angle camera and then a telephoto camera that's a little bit more high def. And it's going to make a unique photo signature of your iris. This is all, again, from the alt man. I don't know. I'm going to keep saying it, folks. And it has been testing in countries. It's been in Chile, Norway, Indonesia, Kenya, Sudan, and Ghana for the past 3 years. And by the end of the year, they want to have 1,500 orbs available in 35 cities across 20 countries to continue onboarding new users. I'll pull up the photo in a little bit. I had issues with Trello, so I couldn't really get the graphics today. I'll pull it up. It looks like some Sauron
Trello
would create. It is a Sauron-created device, everybody. Roughly 40,000 individuals are signing up about every week. About 2 million registrations since it has gone live, everybody. And this is for proof of personhood, POP. Credentially, yeah, there's proof of personhood. Use it for voting. Anyways, I, for instance, Cassius, I'd scan my iris probably for, you give me 20 Bitcoin, I'm probably going to do it. I'd probably do it for 10 Bitcoin. Well, maybe even 9. I don't know. At what point would you say this airdrop is worth it? Do you have a number? You do it for $1 billion. Would you do it for 20K? Would you do it for 1 Bitcoin?
I don't know. I live my life mostly in the public eye. So for 1 Bitcoin, I might do it. But I got to stress, there's less invasive technology to verify identity. I mean, so you guys know I'm out here in the Bay Area. I'm in Silicon Valley, right across the water from here. And I've been meeting all these folks who are in VCs and startups and AI founders and stuff. I met a guy named Ion, and they have a technology that all you do is scan your palm like this, but it's not actually scanning your palm. What it's doing with the infrared camera is reading the veins underneath your hand to make sure that it's uniquely you, and then that there's blood actually flowing through it so that somebody's alive, and then the actual motion of your hand to make sure that it's like a living person doing it. And that works in like 1 second and already exists. And it's way less invasive of like going up and going like this on a screen. So, there's some amazing technology that's already out there. Polygraph is another one that's set up to try to differentiate between human and AI, first starting with online reviews, so words, and then eventually they'll come with voice and visual. So there's other ways of doing that without having to scan your eyeball. So, we need to be on the lookout for, I think the technology is moving fast enough, but we're gonna find all their alternatives pretty soon.
Like I said in the morning stream, if they had one in Atlanta, I'd go up to it, I'd scan my brown eye. Sam Altman, you hear me? My left is what I meant there. Crypto said the Turing test exists. I will add a couple words to that. The Turing test exists to be broken. Maybe one day, who knows? I think we're in a simulation though, so don't ask me. All right, now T Shroom. Now, Mind Your Biz, you did a good job kind of talking us off the ledge. I want you to talk me off the ledge now. It's me, right? Or it's a family member of yours, or it's a neighbor, or it's a coworker that you kind of like, not the one that you don't like that takes your parking spot. This is the one you kind of like. They're thinking about going down to the city center. I'm going to go scan my eyeball. I'm telling you at the lunch break. What do you tell me to maybe, do you talk me into it, or do you try to prevent me? What do you say to me?
Oh, man. Well, first of all, I give him that really compelling argument. The guy's name is Alt Man. I mean, didn't we just learn our lesson from Sam Bankman, right? Yes. Didn't we all just get fried from the Bankman Fried? But, look, if my neighbor was going to go down to the center of town, so to speak, and, probably these are going to be in like Best Buys. They're going to have some kind of like a, tech setting, whatever they're going to be. I would have a conversation with them, and I would ask them kind of what are their motivations for doing it. Try to understand where they're coming from first. And Cassius made some of the most killer questions, I must say, of all the chatter and thought that I've seen today about this news. Cassius actually presented a pretty good argument. It's like, hey, there's already other ways to certify someone's identity pretty well, and it kind of actually made me think. The iris is a pretty flawed thing because you can get contacts made with fake irises. There's rappers, there's all kinds of like celebrities and models who can get like fake irises. And I mean, how much more expensive would it be to get one that actually clones someone's real iris? So, it's it's something that I would talk to my neighbor. I would probably try to talk them out of it in general, just until that actual technology has been tested and people haven't been rounded up and carried off to Alaska or something like that and put in some kind of camp. I would want to make sure that there isn't some kind of malintent before I'm recommending it to people. But I must say, DZ, as we go forward into the future, I don't think that systems like these are going to slow down. Yeah. I mean, one of the first one that we had was a social security system, in whatever government that you're a citizen of. But, when it started to bleed over into the corporate sphere is when, people started to get a little bit more hesitant. And there's still a lot of people that haven't logged into their biometric data into their MacBooks or their iPhones or their Android devices. But a lot of people have. And so my question is, like, why didn't you have a problem with Apple, but now we have a problem with basically what is a company owned by Microsoft?
Yeah. I will do you one.
And then a lot of people have already... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No. Finish your thought.
And a lot of people have already handed over their biometric data to Microsoft through different tablets that have,
Android operating systems, iPhone operating systems. I'll go one further. I've literally scanned my iris for a 20-minute reduction on my plane line. So when I'm at the airport, I use Clear. I use Clear, where they take a picture of your eyeball. So all the people say, I would never do it. I would never do it. Do you have Clear? Oh, crap. Yeah, I just gave it all to the airlines. Oh, well. So, just have a little, just think clearly about, all the decisions you're making. All right. Well, let's actually show the orb here. This is from Worldcoin's actual. I'm a mute it. We don't need to hear it. But yeah, this is the first phase of the T100. I'm sorry. No, that's I'm thinking of Terminator. Sorry. No, this is Worldcoin's Orbs. You can see them there, 35 cities. They're listed. Oh, it's in Madrid. Oh, it's Delhi, Mexico City. All these great places. Now, mind your biz. I've seen some of your tweets, and it just showed some free-spirited individuals who just had, they took umbrage with certain things. And my question to you is quite simple. If you had to guess, and we're not condoning anything ever, if you had to guess, will these orbs be vandalized?
Will they be vandalized? Well, it really depends on whether or not they're going to be left unattended. I think maybe a more relevant question is, will they ever be manipulated or interfered with in any other meaningful way? Because you're one. Yeah, I think you're worried about somebody walking up with a Sharpie and drawing a dick on the side of it. I'm more worried about somebody cracking it open and messing with its guts, right? Like dicking around with it internally. So we are not the same, DZ. We are not the same. And frankly, I didn't see it before, but I was staring
let's pull up a picture of Alt Man. Are you the same as Alt Man here?
No,
wow.
I dare say. No, yeah, but he's also got those Botox injected lips, like he's giving service to his overlords. I'm a little bit worried about this character. There's a certain what do they call it? Physiognomy? Is that what the kids are calling it these days? The type. Yeah. So I'm not feeling it. The vibe's wrong. It's all wrong. Easy. All wrong. So yeah, is it going to get vandalized on the outside? I'm not worried about the outside. I'm worried about what happens on the inside of these things. And I understand that there are other technologies. I really appreciate what Cassius mentioned about the other technology, as he may already be aware, that's currently in use in China, already feeding their totalitarian system. So when it comes to biometrics, you don't get a free pass by doing it differently. Biometrics are biometrics are biometrics. What's the difference between this and saying, like, you know what? For example, most IR systems like that and the other biometric systems and health-based systems, for the longest time, all the major tech companies had problems with dark skin. So technology was literally racist for a period of like 3 years, especially the fingerprint sensors and heart rate sensors from Samsung. But I worry about how all this stuff it's not even necessarily about these great intentions of rolling out something that could be aspirationally a very beautiful thing and decrease friction in how we experience technology. Nah, man, it's never been about what they propose or about the innovation. It's always about the poor execution and about how the path to hell is paved with those good intentions. And I really do think that technologies like Worldcoin and like this orb, like they're not just like paving the way to hell. They're literally they're building like a SpaceX style rocket ship to hell for us. Really, this accelerates things so fast, DZ. People don't know. And as far as biometrics, this is an immutable part of who you are once that genie's out of the bottle. And I get it. We heard some comparisons before about using biometrics locally on your device. A lot of this stuff, especially in the Android ecosystem, These are open hardware designs. We know exactly what happens with those fingerprints. They've been audited by open source developers the world over. It is not phoned home to Google, especially not on devices that are running a de-Googled version of Android. They are not equivalent, not the same value proposition. But when we go to like the marketplace, and we allow for something as fundamental as our image and likeness, our handprint, our thumbprint. I mean, when's the last time that you had your fingers printed? I mean, if it's ever happened to you and was ever done by force, then you remember it was not a pleasant experience. And it was done by people who wanted to put something onto your permanent record, right? Am I right? Anybody ever been there? Yep. Me? Okay. Shit sucks. Don't go there. Don't invite it into your living room. Don't invite it into the commerce. Don't invite it into tech.
They took mine by force and under threat of being locked in a cage against my will. So, they used their monopoly of violence on me. And hey, now there's DZ's prints are out there, folks. All for good things, folks. We have a couple of chats. I think SAS Finance summed it up pretty well. Mind your biz. You earned a new subscriber for me today. I'm gonna add Kevin Carges. Altman looks like Bizonacci. That's pretty funny. All right, I never noticed the collagen lips until Seth said it there. But mind your biz. I think this one is kind of stacked in your favor. I will say this: final thoughts on the orb. When your first association is Sauron from Lord of the Rings, maybe it's not a good thing. That's all I'm going to leave it at. Seth, take it from there, please.
Well, I definitely appreciate you guys having me back on Around the Blockchain. Always have a great time with these fine gentlemen, either whether we're hanging out on camera or we're hanging out IRL. Please do get out and shake the hand of somebody that you see here on camera every opportunity you get. Can't wait till that happens with T Shroom. Hopefully he can make it out to an event real soon. But this is a pleasure. Again, genuinely a highlight of my schedule. And for anybody in the audience, obviously you're in the right place. So many diverse opinions, so many intelligent, powerful people on the show. I'm just humbled to be here and humbled to keep inviting me back. Thank you.
Eric Wallen, do not take a picture of your brown eye. That was not an endorsement for that action. That's all we got. Make sure you hit that like button. Everybody, their links are in the description below. So make sure you check them out. Make sure you're sub, follow their content, leave a comment, even if it's your thoughts on Worldcoin. That's all we got. Until next time. DZ and the Chainiacs out.